Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Fun Stuff Friday and we have lots of fun stuff for you. Just in case this video doesn't get out on Friday because I still have no internet, hopefully by Friday I will have internet and you will get to see this video on Friday. If you don't see it on Friday and you're seeing this on a different day, just be aware that my internet was down for however long it's been, and unfortunately I have not been able to upload any videos during this time. I am still recording them on my daily schedule, so they are still recorded on the days that they're supposed to be recorded and uploaded on. However, they're not getting uploaded because I have no internet. So if they all come out at once, you know why. This is a wonderful set of oil-based colored pencils. This is a 48 set. They do have a 120 set, but it keeps getting sold out really fast. This is the Markart premium colored pencils, and the picture on the box and the box itself looks very familiar to me. It does have the exact same type of graphics that Arteza has on some of their boxes. However, I have looked at my Artezas and I will do a comparison between the two. And they are slightly different, but these are the Markart premium quality pencils. They do have a color chart here as well as information on the back. A second place that they have the colors chart, which is really kind of cool so that you don't have to constantly be flipping the box open and closed to see what colors you're using if you don't swatch your own colors, is they also have a color chart inside the lid, which is really cool. Now this has another name in here as well, which is Corm Color. I think that's how you say it, as well as the Markart. Now, like I said, these are an oil-based pencil and they are a 4mm core. They have this wonderful little sheet that protects the pencils and can be used for other things such as putting between pages when you're using a wet medium, which is really cool. They are a chunky pencil, so they're a bit more what you're used to when, like, if you have the Artezas and that sort of thing, they're about the same size. They're made in China. They have expert on it and the color number. That does not have the color name anywhere on this. However, it does have the color number in two different places. And we'll take a closer look at all of that information after the swatch. Now this is only 48 colors, so the swatch will be a little bit quicker than any of the larger sets. Unfortunately, my computer still is having a problem with doing speed swatches in the really fast speeds that I used to do them. For some reason it started stuttering and makes the music go blah 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 blah, and that's just no good at all. So I have had to slow them down a little bit. However, since this is 48 colors, it still will go by quite quickly. So grab your coffee, have a seat, and enjoy the swatch. And I will be right back. All right, guys, see, that wasn't so bad. So I'm going to take a closer look at these colored pencils. I have rearranged them because, as you can see in their color swatch, it starts with blues. I don't start with blues. Let's take a look at my swatch here. And of course, I started with white, went into the yellows, into the oranges, into the reds, into the pinks, of course, into the purples, and then the blues, and the sea green colors, into the greens, into the browns, into the grays, blacks, and then of course the silver and the gold. Now I'm going to switch you over to the other camera here so you can see a better view of the color chart. And I'm going to try not to block the light from the kitchen too much for you. So we've got our whites, and like I said, the pencils themselves don't have the color name on them. However, on the swatch on the inside of the tin, as well as the swatch on the outside of the tin, it does have the color names. So I will go through at some point and add those. But it goes into the yellows, into the oranges, the reds, into the pinks and the flesh tones, into our purples, and then into the blues, into our aquatic kind of green colors, into our greens, and then of course into our browns, and then it goes into our grays. Now the grays are a little bit strange. There's ash black and black, as well as cocoa brown is showing as a gray color, which is a little strange to me. I think it's this one here. Yeah, it's this one here. It's not really a gray color or a black color. It does have a brown color to it. Same with this one here. Let's see, what color is that? I'm just looking on the tin to see. Okay, so this one here is ash black, and it has a brown hue to it. I'm going to turn on the light and see if I can do that without blinding you. No, it's not going to let me, so that's fine. But it does have a brown hue to it. And then we have our black, our silver, and our gold. And the silver and gold are definitely silver and gold colors. This is more of a brown gold or a green gold compared to the yellow gold that I prefer. But it is a very typical gold colored pencil. All right, so that being said, let's take a look at the pencils themselves. If I can open the box. Oh, let's not blind you. The box decided, oh, you need light. All right, so we've got some great colors here. And I'm just going to turn a light on the side here so you can see. So we've got our whites and our yellows. And as you can see, the cores are quite thick. Has a nice thick core. I haven't sharpened any of these, but I will. I just wanted to do that on camera so you can see how well they sharpen. They don't bounce at all. If you go down the center and roll them, they don't bounce. Of course, if you go on the end, they're going to bounce because you're putting pressure on the end. I haven't seen too many that are split. There are a couple that are not completely centered. Like this one here is not centered. This one here is not centered. This one's not centered, but it's not too bad. And like I said, most of these will be able to tell better once we sharpen them. So I'm going to sharpen this one here because, as you can see, the wood goes up into the core a little bit, quite high into the core on that side. So let's give it a sharpen and see if that will affect the use of the pencil. I don't think it will, but we'll take a look. Okay, so once it is sharpened, you can tell that wood went down quite a bit and isn't going to affect the use of the pencil, which is great. Now I'm going to take a closer look at a couple of these because I don't like the way the wood looks. And like I said, it may just be the way they sharpen them, but this wood looks a little rough and a little split. So let's sharpen this one and see if it's just the way they sharpened it in the factory. Sometimes the factories are not not very kind when they sharpen, so to speak. But as you can see, it still sharpened quite nicely, has a really good amount of core, and even though it's not completely centered, isn't going to affect the use of the pencil all that much. And the wood did smooth out with sharpening it with a proper sharpener. Okay, so other than that, let's do a couple of tests. First, we did a sharpen test, and they do seem to sharpen quite nicely. They don't come apart, which is great. But now let's take a look and take our color from the Arteza. Now, as you can see, this is Crimson Red from Arteza. It has the Arteza brand and Expert here. Now, if you look at this one here, let's see if I have a Crimson Red. So there is no Crimson Red in this set, but there is a Carmine Red. So let's take a look at the Carmine Red, which is number 10. So as you can see, the Arteza still has the little bands, but this one here is quite a bit higher up the end. And the Expert, although it's the exact same text, is opposing. So this is got the silver on the outside. This only has Expert in silver. And of course, this has made in China. The Artezas do not. And on the back side, it has colored pencil and the number. I don't know why it says painting. If these are an oil-based colored pencil, why does it say painting? Of course, it says Crimson Red on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to sharpen this one. Now, these are not the same colors. One is Crimson Red and one is Carmine Red. The Markart does not have Crimson Red. So as you can see, it's sharpened quite nicely. It's fairly centered, which is pretty cool. I like that. So we're going to take our wonderful sheet of paper here, and we're going to lay down some color. I gotta find my water brush. I moved it somewhere, now I don't know where it is. Where did I move it to? I moved it because I needed more room, and now I don't know where I stuck it. No, that's not it. Oh dear. Oh dear. I've lost a water brush somewhere. Hopefully not leaking. Oh well, I have others. So let's grab a water brush. I see the lid, but I don't see the brush. So That's fine. We'll just grab a new one. And we'll put some water down. As you see, the water came down. Put it all on the brush. All right. So we're going to color with this one, which is the Arteza. And it goes down quite nicely, as you can assume with it being Arteza. And then we're going to color next to it with the Markart. And it also goes down really nice. Has a good coverage of color. Definitely a different color, but it's still a good coverage of color on them both. Just going to try to make sure it's fairly even on the amount of color that's there. Because I don't want it to look like I was favoring any, because I'm not. Alright, so we've got a good coverage. Both cover quite nicely. Of course, this is a different color than this. And I should have grabbed the same color, but I couldn't find it. So this is Arteza and this is Mark. I'm going to stick this back in my Arteza bag before I lose where I got it from. And I'll go through and I'll make sure that I have the right. Now, the Arteza we know doesn't move. Now we're going to make sure we got some water. The Arteza doesn't move. The Markart moves, if you can see that. So even though these lay down beautifully, I would not suggest using them with a water base, anything. Now, after scrubbing and leaving water sit on it, the Arteza is starting to move a little. So if you are going to put a lot of water on your picture, don't use colored pencils under it. You're going to end up with movement of, especially of dark colors, of highly pigmented colors like red. Now normally my Artezas don't move, and this one didn't move a whole lot compared to this one, but it still moved a little bit. So try to make sure that you don't use a water base on top of your colored pencils. If you're going to do a water base, put down your water base first, let it dry, and then use your color pencil over top of it. With the amount that this is moving, I would not suggest using a heavy fixative on it. A light fixative, not a big deal, but a heavy fixative, I would not. So if you're going to use something that's highly wet, you may end up with some troubles down the road. All right, so that test is done. Definitely not waterproof whatsoever. And I don't expect them to be. These are colored pencils. They're not expensive colored pencils. They're not, they're not $300 colored pencils. They're an inexpensive Chinese brand of colored pencils. So, I can't, like I said, I would not suggest using them on anything that you're going to put water on. If you're going to do a water base, do the water base first. Okay, so we're going to color this one here, and I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. And we'll take a look and see how well these color. Now I'm going to use this pink. And this is Orchid Purple, I do believe. No. Let's see, what number is it? Number 12. Peony Pink. So it does have some of the Arteza color names as well. So it does lay down very, very, very smooth. I am using a 67-pound cardstock. But boy, does that ever color nice. Yeah, they're not scratchy at all, which is awesome. Because we all know that Renee hates scratchy pencils. But I feel no stutter in the pencil. It's just gliding on the paper just like it says it does. So that's really cool. And it does state on the tin that these are an oil-based colored pencil. So we will take a look and of course blend it with an oil-based pencil blender if need be. Now I am trying to get up to the very edges of the flowers. However, the flowers are very, very small and my eyesight isn't all that wonderful. So I'm having to color and look at the screen at the same time and still stay in the lines. Okay, so I think that's about as close as I'm going to get to the edges there. So that's Peony Pink, and then we're going to take Orchid Purple, which is this one, and we're going to give it a sharpen because it's dull. And all of these pencils come with a very flat sharpened end. They are usable straight out of the box. I did swatch straight out of the box, straight as soon as I got them. Well, as soon as I opened them. I didn't sharpen them before swatching because I like to verify if their claim of can be used straight out of the box is true. Sorry. Had a bit of an itch in my ear. So I'm going to turn the brightness up a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And of course my hand's in the way, so let's see if I can get this to work. I've got cords everywhere and they're all tangled up, and I don't know why I'm doing that. This is cordless, so I'm just gonna see if I can get this to, oh, that's not gonna work. Oh. Yeah, that works. So, no, wrong way. There we go. Just going to see if I can get a little tiny bit of light on it for you. Nope, fine. It says no. Oh, this is driving me crazy. Trying to get it so that you can see the color without killing your eyes. Because if I turn on the light, the white balance is going to go off, and I'll have to adjust it again. I did try to keep it adjusted, but for some reason it's just not staying adjusted. I don't know why. I adjusted it all before I started recording, and it still decided, nope, I'm not going to stay that color. I'm not going to look as good as I should, just because. So I'm just going around the edges with this darker color here, giving the shadows a place to live, as well as the veining of the flower. And the color is laying down really nicely. It does seem to be blending together quite nice, as well as giving me the ability to layer both those colors together, which is really good. I'm going to go back to the peony pink and just brighten up those areas that I've got the pink in. And combine those colors together. Alright, so now I'm going to use the blues. So I've got a dark blue and a light blue here. Well, a medium blue and a light blue. So we're going to do one of the flowers in that, and then one of the flowers in reds, and of course the centers in yellows and the leaves in greens. Alright, so let's do the inside first, because we want the lighter blue to brighten up that dark blue. On the other one, I wanted the dark purpley pink to show through and the light pink to stay in the background. With this one, I want the opposite. I want the light blue to be up front and bright, and the dark blue to be in the background. So put it down first. And as you can see, it blends together quite nicely. Although my camera has gone grainy. I'm telling you. Let's see if this... There we go. For some reason it just keeps on going out of focus. Maybe it's because I'm zoomed in too far. Zoom out a little bit. So like I said, they are going down really smoothly. Like you can't hear them scratch at all, which is really, really good. Definitely what I would prefer in any pencil. All right, so let's put those ones back. And we're going to use this red. No, we'll use these two. I'm going to sharpen them up. So I've got carmine red there. And I think this one is magenta. So I'm going to use this one first. Why they call it magenta, I don't know, but and I'm just going to do just down at the bottom of the petals with this dark red or darker red, bright red, whatever, magenta color, because this one is in front of all the others, so I don't need to put too much of a shadow on the top. And then we've got the carmine red, and we're just barely going over the edge to blend them together, because I don't want the carmine red taking over that other red because they are very close in color. Now if you find that the colors that you're using are too close together in color, there's a couple of different things that you can do. Of course, you can grab a darker colored pencil, or you can go over the area that you want to be darker with the darker color, like the same color over and over again to make it darker. Or you can get a little bit of black and just put a little tiny layer of black into it, and that will of course darken that up a little bit. I'm just going to go over it with the darker color just to give it that bit of oomph there. Okay, so there we go. And it is very messy because I can't turn on a light to see what I'm doing. Well, I could, but you guys wouldn't be able to see what I was doing. I can see what I'm doing, but you guys can't. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my cameras. Hopefully once I get the new computer set up and everything else, it'll be easier to work the cameras and that sort of thing. Like I said, this is a different program than I normally use. Because of the internet outage, I can't use the one that I normally use because it's online. So I'm just going to put yellow in the center here. And then we're going to go into our greens. And I'm going to grab, let's take a look at our sheet here. I think I'm going to grab number 46, maybe 47. Yeah, 47 and 45. Now I've gone very, very dark and very light. So we've got a very dark green and a very light green. So we're going to sharpen them up. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because there's two different types of leaves there. So we're going to color them with the same greens, but in two different ways. Okay, so the first set of leaves, we're going to color just the centers with this light green. And of course I'll try to make sure I get to them all. And then we're going to take our darker green and we're going to color in the rest of the leaf. I do apologize, the train is going to go by, so you're going to shake a little bit. And I'm going to try to make sure I get to, all the areas of the leaf that I want to get to. Now I'm going to go back over that light green and make sure that it's got that light green color there, that I haven't taken it over with the dark green. I'm so sorry about the train. I know I always apologize for the train. It's not like I can control, when it decides to come by, but, it still makes me feel bad that you guys have to listen to it. And basically, what we're doing here is we're giving the leaf the deeper colors, where with the ivies we're going to give it a brighter color. Now these do seem to be a little more dusty, I guess is a good word. They do seem to put off a little bit of pencil when you're coloring with them. So make sure that you don't drag your hand across your page. Otherwise you're going to end up with color across your page. And that's never good. But they do blend really, really nicely. I really enjoy the way they blend. Now I want a big set. Like I need any more pencils. I don't need any more pencils. I want more pencils, but I don't need any more pencils. I just, I really wish I was able to get the videos out when I wanted to, because you guys would have seen these on last Friday's videos. But of course, the internet decided halfway through my uploads that it wasn't going to upload anymore. I got them in right after I finished the day of my Thankful Thursday things. So I was going to surprise you with them on Fun Stuff Friday, but Of course, my internet decided, yep, no. You don't get to upload things. So two of the fun stuff videos didn't go up. This one and the Sergeant Arts. And the flip through for my bonus flip throughs for the fairy houses and fairy doors series didn't go up either. So you will find those as well that will be going up, because like I said, I'm still doing my videos. I will upload them all as soon as I'm able to upload them all, and they may all come out at once, and I do apologize for that, but you guys will get to see them at least, because I've got some really cool ones like these ones. Another one that didn't come out last Friday that will come out as soon as I have internet is the Sergeant Arts colored pencils. Or another one is Artalicious colored pencils. And then we have one more that I haven't done the video for yet, so it'll be a surprise. I'm not telling you. Okay, so as I said before, I did the larger leaves with a little bit more dark, and these lighter leaves with a little bit more light. Now I'm just going into the lighter leaves and moving some of that dark around, just so that when I go over it, it will be brightened up a little bit. The yellow or the green I chose was a little bit more of a yellow green than I expected, but that's fine. Like I said, I'll just go over it and combine those colors to make the right color of green that I wanted. Okay. So all in all, they are a fantastic pencil. They are really, really smooth. They don't scratch at all, which is great. They do color a lot like the Artezas, and they do look quite a bit like the Arteza box as well as the pencils themselves. I showed you the differences in them. They are, other than those small differences, and the fact that these are oil-based and Arteza are wax-based, they feel very, very similar. They're very familiar, I guess would be the word. When you're holding them, they feel very familiar. But that could also be because they are very much like some other pencils. They have the same barrel as some and the same depth as some. So, you know, if you're used to using a 4mm pencil, which I prefer the thicker leads because they're a little bit stronger for me. But if you're used to that, then you're going to be very familiar with these pencils. All in all, I think a wonderful, wonderful set of pencils. I went over the line. And I'm really, really enjoying this electric eraser too, so I've been using it quite a bit. Okay, guys, like I said, we've colored an entire little picture. We've used the pinks and the reds and the blues and the yellows and the greens, and all of them covered beautifully. I didn't need to go over it with a blender pencil, but I'm going to still go over a little bit of an area with one of the blender pencils. Let's see if I can find an oil-based one. Let's see if I can find my blender pencils at all. I keep on sticking things in this. Okay, so this one here is the Lyra blender pencil. So let's go over, let's see on the leaf here. So as you can see, it does blend really, really well. There's not a lot of dust coming off of them, which is great. And the colors are blending together quite nicely. So I'm going to use it on the blue here. And blend down from light to dark. And as you can see, it blended those colors together quite nicely. This one I want the dark to be prominent, so we blend from dark to light. And eliminate that connection line there. So that it does blend very, very nicely. Let's see if it'll take some of that white spot out. There's not a lot of white spot, but there is a little bit. And it does well for that too. And now, because you guys are very, very close up, you're seeing a lot more of the flaws in the picture than I am at a distance. So I keep on checking the camera just to show you that even close up, you don't see any major flawing in the way that the pencils conduct themselves. They actually color beautifully. So all in all, a absolutely gorgeous set of pencils, and as soon as the larger set is available, I will be getting a larger set. The only thing I don't like about them, and it is quite literally the only thing I don't like about them, is the fact that the color names are not on the barrels. They all seem to roll very nicely in the tin. They don't bounce at all, which to me tells me that they're a very straight pencil. Other than the fact that they do put off their color with the reds, not a big deal. Like I said, that can be solved with not coloring on a wet medium. You know, if you're going to color on a wet medium, put the wet medium down first, let it dry, and color over top of it. Not a big deal. Of course, if you're going to use a fixative spray, make sure that you use one that doesn't run. You know, if you're using something that's really heavy and is going to pool or run on your page, you might not want to use that on these pencils, as well as any other pencil really. I have found out of my multiple sets, I have found very few that don't move the pigment with a little bit of water, depending upon how pigmented they are. If they are beautifully pigmented and very, very bright colored, you may want to tread lightly when using them around water. That's all I'm going to say. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, those are the Markart colored pencils 48 set. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find these in the 120 set. If I ever do, I will review them again and show you the new colors that are available. Well, not new colors for the set. It's new colors to me. I will show you the colors that come in the 120 set and see if they're the same quality. These are an oil-based colored pencil. They are an artist quality 4mm lead. They are blendable. We have definitely seen that. They are acid free, and as I said before, all of that information is on the back here and tells you all about the oil-based coloring, oil colored pencil drawing set. Tells you all about the oil base, tells you all about the thickness of the lead, and it tells you about ways that you can utilize this beautiful packaging and beautiful pencils as gifts and so forth. With that, I thank you so much for being with me here and enjoying this wonderful video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and call it wonderful. If not, of course, leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. Of course, hit the like button if you did enjoy the video, because that does it does make me feel really good when you guys like my videos. And of course, if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. I do try to put out a video every single day except for Sundays. The only time that videos don't go out, of course, is if I have no internet, with the wonderful winter storms that we're having. Or if, I'm on vacation or something else. If I go on vacation, I will try to upload the week's videos. So make sure you ring the bell, because sooner or later there will be a video. If you want to join us over on Facebook, please do. The link is down below in the About section below this video. Fill out the application form so that we know that you're an actual person, not a bot. The reason for the application form is to protect our current members and any new members from scams and spamming of different products and different things. Of course, last but not least, oh, no, not quite last yet. Remember that I am now an Amazon affiliate. I do have an affiliate link. So any of the products that you click on, all the product links that you click on my videos will be affiliate links. Please do use the affiliate link. It does give the channel a couple of pennies if you purchase a product. So if you're going to purchase the Markart colored pencils, please do hit the affiliate link and purchase them through that link. It does help the channel out just a little bit. And of course, this is at absolutely no cost to you. And now, last but not least, absolutely, is remember to relax, color, and stay safe. It's been a really rough year so far, and last year was even worse. So let's hope that everybody is safe and sound and coloring quietly. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.